What's up? I'm Grizz. Welcome episode 11, Heavenly Delusion. Very excited to see kind of how we're going to progress this and kind of cap off the season almost here. Sorry as well if I don't seem to pick up on things or seem a little less energetic. I am beyond tired right now. Been a pretty rough weekend. So some of these videos ended up being delayed and other stuff's going on. And I don't have a lot of time right now, so I apologize. But I'm here to squeeze in what I can get done. So hopefully I can do a good enough job and pick up on the things I need to and go over and talk about it enough later on. But if not, please leave any comments that can really help me out. I would definitely appreciate that. If you like it all, hit the like and subscribe to mean a lot to me. Feel free to stick around for the discussion. Leave any comments about this episode or this series though. Let's get going. Episode 11. The new kids have arrived. They looked cracked out their minds. No, don't pull those. They did a weird color underneath they're like ears, dude. Yeah, well, Tokyo's having a fucking kid, so. I wonder why. They don't know, right? Oh, okay, here we go. What do they do with the kid afterwards, too? Okay. Valid rules. Yeah, who gave it to you? Yeah. You missed your opportunity to claim it on your own. No, we have official ownership of the car because our name is on it. On the road for the facility, right? Yep. We're gonna want to find it. So I'm guessing we're gonna venture there, find it, and then maybe have some questions answered as a result. But I feel like we would save that. I don't know. Oh, hey. Ah, well, there's our answer for the gun. Okay. It's likely. No. Well, it's there's chances, like wager. Hell you mean by that? Sure. But what are we wagering exactly? I'm not following. Okay. So that's the reasons for this place, I guess. Oh. That looks like a day. Yeah, okay. No. So we're lying. Okay, she's kind of fucked, yeah. Yeah. どれも詰まるところ言葉を変えた同調圧力でしかないのはあなたもよくお分かりのはず。そんなものに縛られないためにあなたは高原学園に。はあ。 We create our own because there's, yeah, huh. It's not a bad way to look at it, but you're fucked. You're kind of fucked. A long-lasting bread. I don't know if I would trust that. Okay. Yeah, especially all the shit that's happened with earthquakes and other things that probably could occur to change the landscape. Uh-oh. Did he see something or did he just think of something? Okay. Yeah. Maybe it's at the facility? Yeah, we should wait. But they might not be expecting it if you do it then. Then we just got the car and we're losing it already. Unbelievable. Oh. Is that, yeah. That's Robin, right? Well, fuck. That's gonna be an interesting conversation. Mimi just living her life. Okay. See, I noticed that earlier with the pinkish thing underneath the, like, the different tone. What is this girl doing? I said before she looked like a rabbit. Nonverbal? Never mind. Aww. Aww. What the fuck? Is she doing this or are they setting her up and luring her in? What the fuck? Oh boy. More nightmares or dreams similar to Kira's. Every time they do those, it fucking frightens me. I think somebody's getting murdered. I guess that makes sense. Why would they do that in the middle there if that wasn't the case? Weird. Oh my. Similar to exactly what happened with Kira at the other place then. With the things, they had like the bright blue beams kind of coming off of it in a way, similar to the colors of the eyes there. Most people, they do. I mean, but most people do. Yeah. Right. These are natural things, but I guess you've been so excluded from the outside and other things that you wouldn't understand. Okay, we're gonna talk about this finally. A lot. Uh-oh. And then it just randomly happens. Ooh. No, this is different. Yeah, very different. And then the vision's gone. I love Mimi's ears though. I keep showing them. I love them. Oh no. No, oh my, get the fuck out of here. That's why you wear the glasses and the other kids don't want to associate because you cause shit like this to happen. You don't mean to do it. Don't take them off. No. No. Yeah. And it's gonna happen again. She just verified though, I think. But facing the fear, such as something like a phobia. Wake up. Oh. This is the birthing mother.
壊れた世界に純粋な天国を作るって目的までは明快だったけどさ。その先がさ。
What is the goal outside of that? Yeah. What do you do? Where do you go from there?
が断片的すぎてさ。だからその天国を外へ広げていくんじゃないですか?
Ideally.
の目的は今も明快ですよ。園長ももうすぐって言ってるんだから信じるしかないですよ。
Because director gonna be dead.
すでにいくつもタブーを踏み越えちまったもんな。
作業を続けてください。B44 を A16 にと言っている。
God has told us to do our own shit and get away from it. Yeah. Get away.
下準備は整っていますが。
Oh. For what exactly though?
偶発的に外への門が開けばいつでも。
Accidentally, yeah.
具体的とは言わないのでは。
It's being vague.
おっとミルクの時間だ。失礼します。
放送最後まで聞かないで
I was thinking that too. She's very happy. She finally has somebody she can associate with. Oh! They're gonna do some fuck shit here, aren't they? Uh-oh. We're about to do some fuck shit, dude. Yeah. Uh-oh. A test of what? Survival. Just follow, alright.
に到達することがヒルコである皆さんの役割です。まもなく最初の問題が発生します。皆さんの健闘を祈ります。
Those looks, dude. These fifth years be fucking weird. What I'm so lost, bro. I am so... Oh yeah, they probably don't even know them. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Tokyo Junior, huh?
おやすみ。
Is that okay? Hold on. We'll wait. Everyone's on edge. They all probably feel it. I don't like the sounds we're hearing. Some shit's about to go the fuck down, bro. The mother is preparing. Powered off. Uh-oh. Alright, so I had some shit come up, and now it's been about 9 hours, so I'm here to talk finally about this. Now that I finally have some time. Maybe that's a good thing, because I've been thinking about it for a while now. But also maybe it's a bad thing, because things won't be as fresh on my mind. I don't really know. Regardless, we're just going to go step by step through the episode, because it's easier on me, because I don't have a focus point to really like hone in on at the beginning here. Firstly, we kind of cut to some things regarding Mimihime. She kind of talks to one of the kids regarding what exactly is going on with Kona, what exactly is going on with Tokyo finally having the kid and everything else that's going on there. So Tokyo finally being able to give birth is a good thing. So we definitely skipped a lot of time regarding the story that we're seeing at this place. And then Kona's able to do some weird thing with his eye, and he's able to like picture or like bring life to something like in a weird way. I don't know if they're just using this as like a reference, like, or like a thing to show you like he believes, or he was like believes in Tokyo in a way that this is going to happen and this is going to go well and that kid's going to be healthy and everything along those lines, or if it literally is meant to be that he has some sort of power within him somehow that he's able to bring life to things. I don't know. It was really cool scene regardless. The next scene is the one that kind of keeps me rather confused. We specifically focus on the grandma of the place, the director she is, and talking about kind of what her plan is. I'm more so confused here because I don't fully understand her plan. I understand her personal goal of having the brain transplant in a way and lasting on who she is and her memory and just her as a person, and kind of transitioning herself and her soul in a way through generations and becoming and finding a younger body and being able to be immortal essentially in a way. And I understand that goal, but I think there's an overall like bigger picture thing here that she's working towards, or a reason for like the things that she's doing. And I can't seem to pick up on it, because later on we specifically discuss and show the doctor and the, I guess, the underling, the assistant director or whatever now that we kind of promoted, and we specifically show them kind of working on something or discussing a plan that they plan to do, which seems to be rebelling against what our director is currently trying to do. So the plan in which she has, I'm rather confused on. But besides that, I fully understand the goal that she has of forever prolonging herself. Now things get really interesting, specifically because she shows off this gun in which she has the exact same gun that Kiro ends up having now, and the exact same gun I believe that the girl that kind of directed Tokyo, or not Tokyo, they look too similar, Maru, and where he needed to go, I think was the one who handed that to him. I could be wrong on that, but I, for whatever reason, was under the impression that that was the case. So with that said, was she successful ultimately in the things that she was doing and able to passing herself down and find herself another body in a way and do this transplant? Was the doctor the one who successfully performed it here and being able to allow her to take over this other body and do something else? Now, ultimately, at the end of the day, we see if this was actually her, she ends up dying in another life, but she was able to succeed in her goal and kind of prolong herself and who she is. Reasons for doing this, also claiming of this being like a heaven, and the heaven itself needing like a god, and she needs to be the one who's like everlasting for that reason, and going out of her way to do it. It was a really, really interesting way of putting it, but I think this would make a lot of sense if that was her and she did successfully do that. Now, that raises a few questions regarding the doctor within here, if he was the one who also did that with other people and kind of was allowed, he first figure out how to do these sort of transplants, because if that was the case, what is stopping the doctor inside the facility here from being the doctor that operated on Kiro and her brother, right? Like, who's the one who's like, what's stopping us from believing that that's the fact? We don't know exactly, but I'd be under that impression if somebody has this special ability and this power of being able to do this, where it seems like nobody else can really do successfully, it would make a lot of sense if it kind of transitioned over to be like that. I like the description that we use too of this place being a heaven, because we're trying to create one because of the hell that's on the outside, and kind of using it as that, like, as our reasons. And then the goal afterwards of creating everything in here to be so perfect, to prolong it and start creating it outwards and expanding exactly on what we have. She also talks about specifically the wager on Tokyo's child. Now we know Tokyo's kid is a big red flag for all of them involved here, because it's not somebody who's born through like our main system that we have. So this is like a big no-go for us. But the wager on the life of the child, essentially, or on the child, like, is the thing that gets me rather confused and leads me to wonder exactly what it is, because I don't think they really touched on it here, but it did leave me confused, and I don't understand. So this was the whole portion that I was like really, really confused on. So if somebody could help me with that, it would really, really mean a lot. In the distance, as we flash over to Maru, he's able to see smoke in the distance and not sure where it is. They kind of pinpoint it and realize that it's probably from the facility in which they're actually planning to go visit on that next day. And then us as the viewer are able to view in and be able to see who's inside of that, and notice that it looks like Robin, which raises a lot of concerns for me. It gets me really nervous. Why exactly is Robin the one in here? Well, I mean, it shows us he's still alive, which is really, really good. But what is he doing in here? What is his purpose for being in here? And also just kind of the music that went along with it, the way he looked, like all of this. And you don't want to kind of just guess on the way, you don't want to go off of like a gut feeling you have. But Robin doesn't seem like the type of person that is going to be very happy when he ends up seeing Kiro. I'm just saying. I really don't think that's going to be the case. He might have been through some shit and he might be completely different now and he might kind of not fuck with them anymore, and he might not want it. I don't know. Like, I don't know what exactly it is that he wants, but he gives me bad energy just from looking at him, which literally could just be the, you know, outwards appearance of him is a little bit darker maybe now, right? And then in comparison to maybe how he used to be, and he just is a bit more serious or worn down over time. But I don't know. I'm just gonna buy it at what we end up seeing, and he doesn't look like he's probably gonna be the same person in sorts of ways, right? So that connection that we end up having, I think, is gonna go rather poor and gets me kind of nervous. Next, we see Mimihime has this ear, which I've talked a lot about before, how she reminded me of like a rabbit, just kind of the way that her ears were, and like some other stuff about her with the eyes and everything too. The ear comes out like this, and it kind of definitely feels like that. I don't know if this is a specific thing that we're looking at, like if she's mutated with like something specifically, or what this thing that she has going on is, but I am interested if it is exactly that or not. We flash to this kid. I can't remember the name now. It's been too long. With the dark glasses on, playing some instrument thing. I don't even know what that is either. It's like a piano that you're blowing through. I don't know. Well, I guess you play the keys. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not musically educated. Finding out that this kid is completely separated from everybody else and isn't really wanted around because of issues that she may have caused at other times, or they kind of don't like her, or I don't remember the exact reason they said, but they didn't fuck with her for a certain reason. Miyahime kind of goes along and kind of tries to figure out exactly why. The girl starts crying, and as she goes to wipe her tears, she removes her glasses. Unfortunately for her, when the girl opens her eyes, she gets stunned and gets put into this illusion that she's having. This illusion, very, very, very similar to the man-eaters, or the little things, the creature things that we were seeing around a few episodes ago when we were in that garage, in the ways that they kind of tormented with Kiro in a way. Later on, finding out that this is like due to a phobia, and exactly the biggest fear in a way that a person has, that it kind of puts you in a state, mental state like that, where you start hallucinating and believing that you are being tortured in a way through these things that you fear, which is a terrifying thing really to kind of go through. And Mimihime has to go through this completely, which is very unfortunate. Later on, finds herself in a conversation with Kona, specifically regarding what's going on with him. He appears to have an illness of some sort, and exactly what's going on there, I have zero fucking clue. I do wonder, specifically because this exact thing happened beforehand, and it appears to be like a similar like blue color that they were using for the girl's eyes, as well as the man-eaters kind of had and stuff like that. I am wondering if this girl specifically got turned into a man-eater, and she was the one down in that garage later on in this future and was the one who was kind of doing all this stuff to our main two, or if this is just an ability or something that man-eaters can specifically have, and this girl has found her way to kind of have it on her own and possess it in a way. I'd be led more to believe the first option, but it could be, I guess, a few other things as well. But it feels more so that way. So if that's the case, like, this just provides even more and more. I mean, we already know that the timelines appear to be different here, but it just kind of provides more, that all the characters that involved that we're kind of seeing and learning about and stuff have implications, and, you know, show you exactly who we are later on and kind of the things that have occurred to them. Later on, Mimihime is able to kind of snap herself out of this, have a conversation with Kona specifically about him not feeling well and the things that's going on with him, which gets me fucking scared that he might be turning, or he might have some shit in him that's going bad now. I have no idea either with that, even what to begin speculating on that. But starts opening up a bit more about the things that she sees and why she feels she's different, specifically herself, about the visions that she sees, how she saw Asurus in the sky kind of just floating, and how she's able to see all these different things that nobody else is, such as visions of the future in a way, be able to see things before anybody else can, as she specifically describes it as something that she sees sometimes that occur like 10 seconds after she ends up seeing them. Sometimes they occurred weeks or months after she ends up seeing them, but every time she sees these visions, they do occur at some other point, which is completely terrifying. And it appears in this exact moment she's seeing one now, as she has this man-eater kind of, I'm assuming, doing something to her or about to attack her and completely kill her or fuck her up in some sort of way. I think this whole situation regarding her, though, provides further proof that just a couple episodes ago, Mimihime was the one that we saw dying in the doctor's arms, and the one that we kind of helped and brought her outside for her last breath while she was missing all these limbs and a whole bunch of things about her, specifically because of all the needles and the things that she kind of had to be poked around with, and being able to see the man-eater here. And I mean, even other things that we saw previously in the past, such as her having visions specifically regarding seeing somebody with the same exact face as Tokyo, such as Maru, that being, right, coming to her and saving her in a way. And it didn't necessarily, I don't believe, say like save her in a positive way, but getting her out of the room that she was kind of locked away in while she was all bandaged up and on life support, essentially, and being able to take her out and essentially just take her out of her life as well, and being able to be the one who kind of puts her out in a way that relieves her. So I think we're providing more and more info that these kind of characters are real, or are in the past, that are presenting themselves at some other point in the future and are completely correlating themselves in some sort of way with the other characters that we have been following, such as Kira and Maru, for the whole entire show. So being able to meet up with them in some sort of way, it seems to make a lot of sense here. Hime then attempts to talk to the girl one more time as she puts her into this thing by taking off her glasses, and she's able to show her that it's not that scary, and she's able to completely snap out of this, showing that if you do have enough will and strength and understanding of kind of what's going on around you and can kind of find a solid ground and a base for yourself, you're able to break free eventually, if you can kind of show your resilience in some sort of way, which really, really cool. We then see a bunch of guys who kind of aimlessly, I guess, they're working on something, that they're just being instructed completely by this robot thing, which kind of leads to, I believe, something that we talked about a few episodes ago too, where I think it was Maru was kind of concerned about the idea, or talked about how maybe in the past the robots were kind of like controlling in a way, or had an uprising in some sort of way. And I think this would make a lot of sense, considering these guys aren't even able to comprehend the things, or even understand, beginning to, like, trying to even understand the processes of like the things that they're actually doing. They just kind of know how to plug things in and do like the jobs themselves manually, but they don't actually like mentally understand the things that they're doing. So following in the leads and just kind of obeying these things that they're saying is allowing for these guys to kind of grow themselves, the robots and everything else in this facility, away to kind of grow themselves to a point that maybe they could take over at some other point. Finding out from the doctor, as well as we have this talk about possibly betraying the director in a way, how the gate to the outside is basically prepped, it seems, in a way, as he kind of puts it in a different way in the way that he describes it. But it feels like he has something set up completely, that if at any time they do want to get out, they'll be able to force themselves out or do something in order to get out. We then have a day where they direct everybody in the school to basically go to the pool and tell them that they don't have to change because they're not actually going swimming, but this is kind of where we're grouping for a meeting. And we find out that we're doing a test. What the fuck this test is, I don't know, but really gets me scared. And this test is going to commence, I thought it was initially, but I guess it's going to commence tomorrow, or in the show, technically tomorrow. And what exactly they're doing, I really don't know. And I believe that's something that we're not supposed to know, but it gets me really worried, because later on we have a scene where specifically some of the characters talk about hearing the name of the Hiroko and being concerned because they've been called that before, or they somehow have it ingrained inside them that is their name, and they feel like that it's being directed at them whenever somebody says it, even though that they've never heard this before. So it gets me really nervous, because these people all feel like they have something in them, or they are like clones and they've been kind of called this before. So there's something going on with a whole bunch of these, everybody possibly, but a lot of the newer ones, and even some of the older ones for that matter. So the direction they're going to take there, I don't know, gets me nervous, because it makes me feel like the test itself is going to be like manually somehow being able to force these things into turning completely into man-eaters and then attacking everybody on the inside, or like doing some bullshit. And just like, I don't even understand, like, don't even think I can comprehend the shit that they might end up forcing them to do here. But it doesn't seem like it's going to go well, and it seems like a lot of people are probably going to die. That's the route that I'm really feeling like we're going to go, unless it's a complete safer route and they're prepping them for something else completely. I have no idea. Being able to see Tokyo's kid looks completely healthy, looks like Tokyo, looks like Maru in a way, right? It makes perfect sense, but then they pan over and show you that there's a second one, which really gets me nervous. It really raises some flags, because it's going to mean a few different things. One, the child's just a clone, or two, that it's a twin. I don't believe it is, because I feel like they would have specifically stated that before. So my guess is we have a cloned version of a child. So whether this is one of those baby things that we saw kind of in that room earlier when Tokyo and the frog girl kind of infiltrated in a way, and they're able to take those things as the base of the kid and then be able to copy the face and everything about them and put them onto one of these. I believe that would be more likely of a possibility, or somehow they're able just to clone them completely. Regardless, this also I think lines up perfectly, because it shows us Maru having to go and find somebody with a similar face to him. So I think that makes perfect sense as well. And it also makes sense that the person who ended up telling him to go do that might have been the director after the transplant of like the brain and everything that they were talking about beforehand, because she would be somebody who actually has knowledge of Tokyo and the kid, and you know, the fact that there was a alternate version or a cloned version of it, right? So now suddenly all these theories and things kind of feel like they're lining up in a direction that's going to move a bit more positive, or not positive for, I guess, the people within the show, but positive for us, because it starts making a bit more sense. It starts getting really exciting. I don't know, those are just some quick thoughts. I wish I had a bit more to say, but I'm really kind of out of it right now, and it's been so long since I watched it earlier today, so my immediate post-watch thoughts are kind of out the window. So I don't know. If you got anything to say, though, please let me know. I really would appreciate it, especially that scene specifically talking about the director and her talking about being a god and everything else that was going on and where her plans are and stuff, because I don't really think I picked up on a lot of that. I think I could definitely use some help regarding that. That's going to be all from me, though. I'm very excited to see kind of how we climax this and wrap things up going into the next few weeks. If you liked it all, hit the like and subscribe. They do mean a lot to me. Feel free to check out the other videos on the channel, leave any comments about this episode or series. I will be back for episode 12 next week, though. You guys have a good one. See ya.